Hello, welcome back to Frugal Girl Glamour. My name is Sadia. I'm doing a ton of Star Wars content for the month of May, and today we've come upon Kylo Ren. So today's prompt was actually any character who wears a helmet. I chose Kylo Ren because he has, in my opinion, the greatest character arc in possibly all of the Star Wars, like I should say the Skywalker saga at least. In my opinion, his, the rise of Kylo Ren, the fall of Kylo Ren, and that whole like tension, I guess, within him that you get to see in the sequels is just fantastic. So we've got a very hazy, kind of grungy, smoky eye, a nice glossy lip. I've got my TIE Fighter earrings on for today's look. I've got a pair of skinny jeans here, high-waisted with kind of the unfinished hem at the bottom, so they get those kind of, scragglies that like jeans get when you do the cutoff shorts. I've got my Doc Martens. I love these things. They were a Christmas gift. And then a big slouchy black sweater, just because I was kind of more so going for the after Kylo dies, maybe it's more so Ben Solo in the Rise of Skywalker. So in this video, I actually do talk just a little bit about the Rise of Kylo Ren comics, because in my Rey DisneyBound video, I had been talking about how I wasn't totally following exactly why Kylo was so angsty and why he went bad. But then my dad actually watched it and he called me up and he was like, well, Sadia, you gotta read these comics. So I just kind of wanted to give, I guess, a reading recommendation. We are all in quarantine, and so if you're looking for some good Star Wars content, definitely pick those comics up. They're really quick reads. It's 4 in a series, and seriously, I finished them this morning while I was drinking my coffee. So it's just, it brings a whole new depth to his character, and it makes you understand why, like Rey and Leia were so, attached to that feeling of like he's still got that light in him. There's still Ben underneath all that Kylo Ren. He's still there. So there's my little, Star Wars recommendation for you, just to kind of expand your Star Wars universe a little bit. And let's get on to the tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to start with my kind of standard face makeup. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Fair Neutral. And then I will highlight with also Urban Decay Naked Skin highlighting fluid in the shade Sin. I'll set it all though this time with just my Essence All About Matte compact powder. I feel like, and this is just translucent, I feel like the past couple of videos I've done have been more high-end centric, so I'm trying to keep this more drugstore as far as products go and that sort of thing. The one place I don't compromise on drugstore though is like concealer and skin products. I usually am not a fan of the, kind of like Maybelline, CoverGirl, Revlon, all those brands don't quite get it for me. My skin is kind of sensitive and it's also prone to kind of texture, so I find higher end foundation and concealers just work way better for me. That all said, I'm going to do the little snappy thing here because I don't think you need to see my process for that. Alright, so face is done. One thing I didn't note before is I did use my bronzer, just the standard Wet n Wild color icon in Bikini Contest. I'm not going to do a blush on this look just because I'm going for kind of that more sallow skin tone, as not attractive as that sounds. I'm going for more of a grungy look, I guess, so I don't feel like blush really has a place in this particular look. So I just carried the bronzer up onto my cheekbones kind of from the crease, so that should kind of create that little bit of warmth that keeps me from looking completely flat. Next step, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Again, don't really think you need to see the process, but figured I could show you the products. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Brow Blade. I love this stuff so much. And then I will kind of shellac everything into place with the CoverGirl Professional Natural Lash Gel. Should we do another snap? Let's do it. And brows are done. So next step, we're gonna, again, clapping. Apparently every step deserves a clap. I'm gonna use my NYX Avant Pop palette. I want really mostly kind of this quadrant here. I should probably take the lid off. Here we go. I'm looking for mostly this quadrant over here, just because I want this like kind of mauve tone in my, like a blown out smoky eye basically. I'm gonna use another NYX product, which is just their jumbo eye pencil in black bean. So it's just a black creamy jumbo eyeliner pencil. I'm gonna just kind of make a very hazy smoky shape. I don't want like a wing with this or anything along those lines. I want it to be kind of like emo kid meets true grunge. Like, I'm not gonna try that hard at this, but I want some of those bold colors. I feel like Kylo kind of speaks to that emo grunge goth kid, whatever little bit of darkness you had in you in high school, all that angst. That's what he kind of personifies for me, at least. So let's pop the liner on. I think I'm gonna just start by throwing it across my top line, and then I'm gonna go in with kind of a dense bristled brush and blend it out. So I'm gonna build just a teensy bit up so it's nice and dark on my lash line. And then move on to our next product. I might come back to this a little bit later. The key to keep it kind of a more concentrated color, more pigmented, is to dab rather than blend. I kind of wonder if, I don't really use beauty blenders, but if maybe using one of those blenders that has a really fine pointed tip, you might be able to use that with these to create a nice opaque layer. I find when I do my makeup in front of a camera, my eye shape tends to droop a little bit because I'm constantly looking down at my mirror instead of up. It's because I don't want to block you guys like that. So that's something I've had to get accustomed to a little bit. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna start light and then get darker. So I'm gonna start with my little peachy tone here, and I'm gonna use that in like kind of this high area of my crease just to create a little bit of shadow. I'm hoping it's dark enough for that. But I want to create kind of a transition between that mauve-y color that we're going to come in with. Yeah, this will be good. Just leaving the brow bone pretty bare. So I prefaced this tutorial, prepared myself for it, by actually reading the Rise of Kylo Ren comics. There's just a series of 4, so they were a pretty quick read to go through when I drank my coffee before this. My dad actually told me about them after he watched my Rey video, because in that video I talked about how I wished we got more character development, or I shouldn't say that. I wish we got more of an origin for Kylo in the films, just because it was kind of hard to understand why he was so angry and why he was so angsty. So he was telling me that, you know, unlike Vader, he really didn't have a troublesome like childhood or past or anything along those lines. He had a good childhood and, you know, loved his parents, respected his master and uncle, I should say, Luke Skywalker. But he ends up, and, you know, for sake of not spoiling anything, and this is the way that my dad told me about it before I actually read through them, but he just ends up falling into the wrong crowd, and gets to a point where he feels like he cannot go back. He's gone too far. There's no point in trying to redeem himself. He doesn't think he's worthy of that. And as a result, just keeps rolling with the Knights of Ren and the dark side, which I appreciate that he didn't just end up having a straight, you know, basically a step-by-step mirror of Vader, since you see him looking up to Vader so much. It makes me understand better why everybody, you know, Leia and Rey, for instance, were so persistent that, oh, there's still good in him. We can still find the good in him. It's kind of like, but he's bad. I understood Leia, because it's her son. She's gonna, you know, probably love him pretty much unconditionally, right? But Rey doesn't know him. Why would she be invested in his redemption arc? But it makes sense that, you know, she truly would have felt that kind of tension. He didn't fully allow himself to go to the dark side, and these comics really actually kind of exemplify that difficult path and those difficult choices that he has to make. So now, in case you haven't noticed, I did go in with that kind of mauve-y magenta color here. Okay, so now I think I'm going to kind of, I don't want to say cut crease, but I'm going to carry this dark color up just to kind of match that base I had in with my crease a little bit better. You can see it's getting kind of blobby over here. And by dark color, I should say this dark kind of, it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it, but it's just a black. Now back into that mauve-y color. And then to blend out that edge, I'm going to take a super fluffy duo fiber brush, take some of that peachy color, and mix it with a teeny bit of the kind of shimmery white in this palette, and carry that out along this edge. And then just some of that pinky peach color out here. And then just with my fingertip, I'm going to go ahead and take this white shimmer, dab it on each inner corner, and then take another finger to kind of blend it out there. I'm realizing I think I got some pink on this side, unfortunately. I'm going to take a clean finger and just kind of... So I'm going to curl my lashes and put on some mascara. And I'm just using my CoverGirl Clump Crusher. And my lash curler is actually just from e.l.f. That's the most affordable eyelash curler you can really get out there. And so that's the one I've been buying for probably the last decade now. Okay, and I think kind of the final touch is I do want a bit more grunge, a bit more grit. So I'm going to throw my black liner, that same jumbo pencil, on my waterline and lower lash line. Okay, so before I do the lips, I'm going to clean up this little schmutz on my nose here. I'll be right back. Alright, and then the lips, I'm just going to do a gloss. I've got these really fun Avengers Infinity Stone themed glosses from Besame Cosmetics. If you follow them on Instagram, you may have seen these probably, I think it was about 1.5 years ago they came out. They're just so fun. They're so good. So I'm just going to slap that on. I'm not doing anything else on my lips. There we go. I like that. Alright, so don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm also pretty active on my Instagram. Feel free to like my Facebook page as well. It's all linked below, down in the descriptor. I also attach a blog post to every one of my videos detailing all of the products that I use, so if you are interested in any of these and would like to purchase the ones that I've used today, I've got those linked in that blog post, also linked below. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and may the Force be with you.